Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and I hope you had a lovely holiday. I'm Naley Gonzalez and I am about to share with you my miscarriage story. This is extremely personal and I've debated sharing it for a really long time, but now is as good a time as any. As some of you know, this past Mother's Day, my little family of 3 shared that we were expanding to 4. This was a planned pregnancy and we were excited to be growing our family. June was approaching and I was prepping a novel idea for Junaremo, a writing month similar to NaNoWriMo, but you know, in June. The Thursday before Juno started, we got a call from the doctor. We had done blood work to learn if there were any genetic concerns with the baby, and our results were flagged with a possibility. Even though the doctor said there was probably nothing to worry about, I began to panic. The next day, Friday, we had an appointment to see a genetic counselor, and in my desperation to know the type of motherhood I needed to prepare for, my husband and I opted for a procedure that was offered to us. It's known as chorionic villus sampling, or CVS. I won't go into detail about the procedure, but it was not enjoyable. As far as I know, the CVS went well, but I do recommend that if anyone's offered to do it, do your research before making a decision. Following the CVS, I went home, wrote for Junaremo, and rested. Saturday, I walked around the Puerto Rican Day Festival in my community, and then went home and wrote some more. Sunday morning, before I got out of bed, there was a gush of what I believe was amniotic fluid. We called the doctor and immediately went to the ER. We spent about 3 hours there and baby had a heartbeat and there was plenty of amniotic fluid around it. Since there were no visible issues, we were sent home with a follow-up appointment for the next day. At the time, I thought that experience was the worst day of my life. We woke up Monday morning and got a call from the genetic counselor saying that the results came back normal, and it was a really huge relief. Then we were on our way to the ultrasound to make sure everything was still alright. We were running late, but we made it into the appointment and waited patiently as they checked via ultrasound and waited more for the doctor to come in and talk with us. I remember thinking that I couldn't wait to be done with all this craziness and focus on a healthy pregnancy. Then the doctor came in and we had some small talk. Then she paused and said they couldn't find a heartbeat. I blinked and said okay, as if I understood, and then I stared at the monitor at my baby. I said okay again, and I kept thinking to myself over and over, how do I fix this? How can I fix this? And then it hit me that I couldn't, and I broke down there in the office. I was scheduled for a D&C the next day, and just like that, over the course of a weekend, our baby was gone, and my little family was devastated. I blame myself for the miscarriage, having rushed through everything instead of being calm and patient. I went through endless scenarios of wondering why this would happen to my family and me, ranging from all types of situations, from people giving us ojo to not forwarding that chain letter back when I used to use MySpace. I wanted a reason, and the hard part was accepting that I'll never know for sure. I can speculate and suspect all I want, but I'll never get an answer that will erase the pain. The time following the miscarriage was rough, and despite the heartache, there is good news to this story. My family of 3 is happy to announce once again that we are expanding to 4, as I am now 5 months pregnant. We're strong believers of science and spirituality, and the one thing we did know was that though science failed us, our baby was still coming. And we were right. Shortly after our miscarriage, we learned we were pregnant again. And this time, we're taking everything day by day. We're eating right, taking our vitamins, and exercising. But it doesn't mean I'm not nervous that something will go wrong this time either. And I'm struggling to accept that that's normal. Before this, I knew that miscarriages existed, but I never thought it would happen to me. Then I learned it happens to 1 in 4 women. Out of the beta readers I worked with for my novel, 3 of them shared their miscarriage experiences with me. And it was so helpful because regardless of the statistic, you still feel like you're the only person in the world going through this. Though it was a short time, I was still heavily depressed and suicidal, and I was lucky to have my husband and family and close friends who are still extremely supportive. The grievance counselor also shared Empty Arms by VREDEVELT, and it was extremely helpful. I do recommend this for those going through this or still working with their loss. If you're interested in getting a copy, I've made a link available in the description below. I'm sharing this so that no matter what your experience with miscarriage, you don't give up. There's always something to look forward to, whether that be trying again, deciding to adopt. It's okay. This wasn't your fault, and there's nothing wrong with you. You can and will live a wonderful life. Thank you so much for watching and allowing me to be vulnerable. Feel free to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and follow me on social media at NaleyGonzalez. Until next time.